Hey, it works.
Hooray!
Woo! Welcome to stream number 2 for Riff Arcade. Thank you for joining us. If you're in the chat, make some noise. It may take us a minute to respond because the way that we've got this thing set up, I can't see the chat. I can only see the chat when you guys chat on my actual screen. So if I can take a picture of it, I'll show you. Maybe I'll tweet that out on Instagram or something. But thank you for joining us. I hope our sound is okay. We're a little bit more spread out, which is more comfortable, but we're sacrificing some sound quality, and we only have one microphone, as you can see, of our lovely product placement. Thank you, Gatorade. Thank you, Zaxby's. There's also a small disclaimer that I am technically on call at work right now, so if I get a phone call, I have to go right away. So if there's an emergency on campus, I've got to go. So the stream is running very, very, very tight tonight, but we're crossing our fingers that we will be okay to make it. The song you just heard was from one of my favorite games of all time. That is Halo ODST. It is the Halo between Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and it is very underrated. And I love that song. That song's an absolute banger. Did you know about that song before we did this?
I did not, no. And I've played Halo 1 and 2. A little bit of 3, but I know this is kind of more your thing, like with Halo, but I do remember several nights, at young adults growing up where you'd have everybody over, and there would be Xbox controllers for everybody. We would just play 4-person battle royale and things like that. It was a lot of fun.
I know that Josh brought me in as a ringer because Troy, y'all's youth group guy, was really good at Halo. And I was really good at Halo, and Troy just mopped the floor with everyone. So Josh brought me in one night to kind of balance him out, and I kind of kept him in check. I couldn't mop him. I couldn't mop the floor with him like everyone else could. But he was definitely he wasn't having fun that night. He was like, "Oh crap, this guy's pretty good." So I love that game. It's very underrated. It's very the scale of the game is way smaller. It is. You're not a super soldier, you're just in one city, and it's got this non-linear storytelling. So you walk around the city and you find a tire, and you're just kind of what's going on? And then the next chapter of the game is a flashback to how that tire got there. And it's one of your squad mates went through this crazy adventure and the car blew up he was in and the tire flew, and that's how you got there. So it's really cool. It's an awesome game. And it doesn't really have a theme like the Halo has, but it's got this really cool jazz noir soundtrack, and that's one of the songs. We have that song. We've got 3 other songs to do tonight. One of them is a flat-out original, and if you have been watching... 2 of them. That's right. Yeah. One of them is inspired by something else. One of them is pulled from the void that you made. So we've got, in fact, the absolute original that Spence has written is coming up next, and if you watched Butts Plays Poorly, you should recognize it. Can you talk about how'd you make that song?
So the inspiration for that song,
Thank you, Run Disney. Thank you, Teacher Race.
The inspiration for that song actually came from some of these AAA RPGs that have been coming out lately, and some of the cinematic work that they've been doing during major boss fights. And I came up with the song as a response to Final Fantasy VII Remake. The Genova fight at the end, I had it on mute one day, and I was listening to music in the background, and I started to formulate the idea for this song as I was playing that fight. I have since then gone back, played that fight, and had my track over it, and it does work. So that's kind of the inspiration for this, and we don't really have a title for it right now. It's just kind of a super fight song because this Butch mentioned on Butts Plays Poorly. He will cue that up whenever someone requests a super fight. So that's kind of where the inspiration for that song came.
I requested this music for Spence for that, and I thought it was just hey, I'll give you some bleeps and blurps, and then he drops this song. I'm oh my god, okay. Boy, you understood the assignment. I hope I've got to change one setting. I hope this isn't going to throw off everything.
Hopefully not,
Oh,
but
Lord. All right.
and for everybody out there, this is stream concert number 2. So we're still kind of working the kinks out as we go along. With each new streaming concert we do, it'll be a little tighter, a little more put together. This is still kind of an experimental phase that we're having, but we hope that enough of it comes out to where everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah, we're just in Spence's room, so I know the quality isn't what it was last night when we streamed all 4 of us. We're trying to work towards that. I think that if you listen to our music, especially if you listen to the first stream, the quality of music has gone up. We've learned some tricks in the program we're using. Spence has gotten more comfortable writing and adapting stuff. So musically, this is a big step. It's just everything else is kind of like, it's not that much of a step. We'll work on that part too, though.
But if you are dissatisfied with the somewhat messy background, or perhaps you're thinking to yourself, that sounds good, but it could sound better, you can always donate our coffee.com/Riff Arcade.
Dang it.
You can always go there and donate to the cause, and that will help tidy this up much faster.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
We didn't throw this together, but we did a test run Monday, and it was kind of like, okay, this is what we have to go with. Plans were made, and we couldn't go forth on those plans, so we just had to let's improvise. So this song doesn't have a title, but
it's the Super Fight song.
It's the Super Fight song. Yeah.
That was the last 7-Up I have right now. I failed 7-Up, our god, the Uncola.
I need to get more. I think I've actually got some at the house, but it's not cold, so I don't want to drink it.
We failed
burning,
7-Up.
I also forgot to turn off the microphone, so you actually heard some of the background music. Probably heard me hitting that.
So that's okay.
Whoops. You actually know I'm playing. If you
WIP, work in progress.
Behind the curtains. How we do. All right, so that was Super Fight. I call it the Super Fight song. You call it the boss music.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I had written it while fighting a boss. So, I mean, damn.
Did you play the video view of the boss fight while you were writing it, or you're just like thinking about it?
I was thinking about it while I was playing it, and I thought, gosh, if I wrote the music for this Genova fight, what would it sound like? And there it is.
Is that a good fight?
Just a little snippet. That is a very epic fight, yes.
Okay. Is it a good fight in the remake or the original or both?
Not to get too long-winded, but in the remake, it happens way earlier than it should, and we'll just leave it at that. So it's sort of a new addition to the remake, but it was an excellent fight, and hopefully that song did it a little bit of justice.
I have never played Final Fantasy VII, so like just hearing it cold, I was like, oh, this is good. So like, you also have interesting drum parts because you write drum parts that I'm like, that's playable, but also like, oh, okay. Like if a drummer wrote it, I'd be like, okay, I know what he's doing. Like I could just play along. But you also like, you make right choices, but you also make choices that I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, like that kind of thing.
Well, I know that guitarists could easily fall into the trap of making drum parts super complicated and also that don't make sense. And while I'm not a drummer, I just thought about the physical mechanics of playing drums, and I thought, now would it be difficult to do this, and this at the same time, or like I would think about those things.
Your phrasing is interesting.
Yes.
Like I think, okay, good. There's what I call like the guitarist. There's a guitarist groove that like every guitarist knows this groove. Any guitarist that sits down on a drum set plays that, and I'm like, it's great, fine. There's nothing wrong with that groove, but like, did y'all all get on a conference and like play that?
If you're curious about the inspiration for that drum groove, it was actually Phil Collins. Because I listened to old Genesis. Actually, the middle portion of Genesis, like Wind and Weather, like when there were just 4 of them. Mm-hmm. So right after Peter Gabriel left, but before and then there were 3. That period of their music, I find to be the best. That's like my favorite.
It's kind of a hot take.
That's my favorite part of Genesis is that middle section there. And there are some tracks, like on Wind and Wuthering, for example, where he does this like floaty thing with the ride, while he's doing something complicated. And I thought it sounded like amazing. And of course, this one was much more slowed down than what he actually played. He actually played that groove, but it was like much faster.
Much faster. We heard we couldn't hear the what's it called? They couldn't hear the drum. Okay, so let me do something here. I think y'all can hear that. So here's the guitarist groove.
Because if I had to walk into a Guitar Center right now and sat down at a drum set, that is 100% the drum groove that I'm going to play. Because it's the only one I can play.
Yeah. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. No sound for that? Take on. Okay. Well, hang on. I'm going to cheat one more time. Every guitarist knows it to a person. I don't know how y'all figure that out. It's like it sounds complicated, and it's like, there's something going on with it, but it's also like your feet and your hands work together for a second and they don't. It's like it sounds complicated, but also it's easy to pick up. There we go. Yeah, okay. Took me a second. Was this so this one, was this the first song that we tried to do? I feel like this song is old.
This next song is a little interesting because I wanted to pay homage to some of the happier times when I had a PlayStation 2. And for those of you who don't know me, I would probably put PS2 like in the top 3 of my favorite consoles ever. Yes, I realize graphics are a lot better these days, and that's all good, but there were lots of platinum games that came out on the PS2 and kind of took Sony in the direction that it's gone in today. And one of the most iconic sounds that you hear is the startup sound when you first turn it on, and it kind of warps into the main menu, so to speak. Everybody who's played PlayStation, any console, like especially the 2, would recognize that sound. But I wanted to do something a little different with that sound. So I wanted to pay homage to the PS2, but I wanted to do it in a chill, ambient kind of way. And I was just in the mood to write some chill music that day. So this song is sort of a very slow, chill jam, leveraging the PS2 opening sound in a unique way. nice and relaxing. The image you saw in the background is actually the image that comes up when I believe it's when you look at the clock on the PS2. So that was sort of an homage to the PS2 and thanking it for all the wonderful memories.
I don't think you'd be
which
alone.
I can't remember because I'm much older now.
You wouldn't be alone in being like the PS2's top tier console.
Oh yeah.
Especially considering what was going on at the time. It went up against the N64.
It kind of came out just after the turn of the millennium. So like Y2K hit, and then shortly after PS2 came out. I don't know this. I didn't Google this beforehand. I probably should have. I think it was like 2001, 2002 maybe when it came out. It was very shortly around the Y2K era.
I remember it. I think it went up against the N64 and the original Xbox and the Xbox 360. So like, it was holding its own against 3 generations of consoles, which is pretty dang good.
Oh yeah. It gave us great classics like Final Fantasy X, Twisted Metal. There's some Armored Core games I played on there. Let's see.
Devil May Cry.
I think a Metal Gear Solid was on there.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid.
I think it might have been 2.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto was on there. Vice City. Spent a lot of time in Vice City.
Yeah. God of War.
God of War came out on that. Kingdom Hearts came out on that.
Yep.
Lots of classic games.
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah.
You got what was the other one? It's Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
The opposite side of that.
Mm-hmm.
Chat. What's your favorite PS2 game? Everyone's got one. I actually didn't have a PS2, but
yeah, you missed that boat, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I started with Xbox, original like brick Xbox, and then got a 360, and then got a PS4. Like, boy, I missed a lot of boats. Yes, it is a cool riff. Thank you, Beach Lover. When we first started doing it, like playing live parts of music, this was kind of the direction I thought we'd go in. It's like, oh yeah, some lo-fi chill stuff. So we wrote one, and we quickly went another direction, which is fine. Like, we were like, oh, we'll do the boss fight music. I'm like, yeah, that's cool too. So
we got plenty more chill music to go through in the coming months.
I would love to do the Wii's got good music, like the Wii Shop music.
Oh yeah, that's
or
true.
Like the startup for like more startup music like that would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah, we'll do an homage to the Wii another time. That one would be fun.
Or like oh my god, the GameCube startup, the
oh yeah,
that like
that's the one seared in your brain, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh god. Oh yeah. I love the GameCube. I didn't have it. My roommate had it. Now I have it. Man, love the GameCube. If they ever make a GameCube Mini, I'm buying it. I don't even care. All right. So we have 2 songs left, but they're joined together. We did what in the Ron Johnsons we called Grand Moff Tarkening, which is just one song leads right into the next one. So you're getting 2 songs. They're just going to be connected. You'll know when the other one starts. So this is I played this game at like a friend's house a couple times, like a handful of times, but I don't really know a whole lot about this one. This was up your alley.
This one was my jam.
College football, yeah.
For a little while. I used to play this with some of my friends. We're going to play the theme song from Killer Instinct next, and it is a game that originally came out on the Super Nintendo. They've had sequels that have come out on subsequent consoles, of sort of a mixture between like Nintendo consoles and Xbox. I believe Microsoft owns Rare now, so I think it is now a Microsoft product. But it used to be on Nintendo consoles early on, and Killer Instinct was unique at the time because most fighting games would write sort of fantastical, foreign, otherworldly soundtracks. But Killer Instinct was the first one that actually wrote songs that sounded like something you would hear on the radio at the time. Kind of like a Nine Inch Nails vibe for most of it. And Nine Inch Nails was pretty popular in the 90s. So it's something that you could easily hear on the radio, which wasn't what the other fighting games of the time, like Mortal Kombat,
they barely had a soundtrack.
Clay Fighters, or Street Fighter were doing. They were kind of trying to capture the environment in which they were sitting in. So each stage, the music would either have something to do with that stage, or like with Mortal Kombat, it would just all be gloom and doom. But Killer Instinct actually used, the modern instruments of the time and made a really cool soundtrack that still stands up today. And a lot of people praise the soundtrack and say it's one of the best of all time.
Yeah, the game was bonkers. Soundtrack slaps. So here we go. Killer Instinct.
combos back to back, and they'd have different types of combos. They'd have, brutal combos or mega combos or something like that. But the best one was the ultra combo. And it was like, 20 to 30 hits worth of combo. There's tons of videos on YouTube of people doing these ultra combos, and it's really cool to watch, but it is very difficult to do because I remember spending summer trying to learn how to do some of those ultra combos, and I failed miserably. You have to be really quick on the button presses, and sometimes you have to like rotate the D-pad or the joystick a couple times that do something in order to catch one move, or you might have to juggle somebody. They fly up in the air, and you have to time it right and hit them on their way back down, because once they hit the ground, like that's the end of the combo. So that was the inspiration for that solo he did.
Got what guitar model?
This is a Jackson Dinky. It's something that I picked up probably like a year or two ago, and it's I call it my speed guitar. It's the one that lets me fly really fast on the fretboard if I want to. This is the one I've been playing the most recently. But I've got about 4 others in the closet behind Bud's over there. 2 Strats, Les Paul, and an Ibanez.
I always think that's the Ibanez, but that's not. Does it have the same?
They look similar.
I was like,
they look similar.
Same stock head.
But the Ibanez stock heads are a little straighter, and this is kind of like slanting downward.
It slants that way. That's like all I know about.
I like this headstock. This is my favorite guitar right now. This one.
Oh, that solo. God. I had fun fact on that solo. I was supposed to play on this pad for part of it, and I just had a brain fart and played on this, which thankfully the setting is pretty good. Yeah,
we have jobs.
No one would know. Yeah,
we're not professionals.
Yeah, I was cleaning up.
But we ain't.
Yeah, I was cleaning up fluids not but 2 hours ago, so.
Yeah, they actually did the on-call. They called him while he was on call before the concert, so that was very lucky.
Yeah,
that happened before.
It was very lucky, and like I was on my way home and had to turn around. Spence will know this. I had to turn around at that CVS. That's how close I was to home. Like, well, going back.
That sucks.
Had to fight traffic to get home. Nope, turn around, fight traffic to home to get here. It's a whole thing, but it was worth it because like this stream concerts are really fun. All right, I'm going to put up a poll. We got maybe time for one more song or so. I'm going to put up a poll and see if I can put up a poll. Hang on. Which of the 3 so we're going to do the Halo ODST, we've got boss music, and actually we'll do one of the first 2. We'll do either Halo or we will do the boss music. I think that's a good like end of the stream music. Because PS2 is great. I really like that song, but it's like it's kind of chill. Let's end the stream on
End it on a high note.
A high note, yeah. So chat, which of those 2 is it still going? We got 1, we got 2. I think I know which one we're gonna play. It's fun watching the microphone. I thought for a while to play like this, but I can't. My sticks click. So I'm like, dang, I gotta play like that. It sucks because this looks so cool. Looks really cool to play like that. Looks like the vote is in. We're gonna do the Halo song. Hey, again. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite song, but I really like that song. So we are gonna play this. Then we will sign off. And when I hit this button, you're gonna get the intro video again because I can't turn off the intro video. So
That's okay. I'll watch it again.
So you will get the whole shebang. I'm actually gonna. No, I'm not gonna fiddle with it. So here we go. As requested by the Riff Raff, the Halo OD.
there's obviously some things we could do in terms of production that will, look to take to the next level.
Yeah.
Also, like all the background back here, we will hide going forward. And like we said, this is really just an experiment, but I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, the music quality went up. The production went up a little bit. Like that's a cool video at the beginning.
Yeah, so like this time we added a little more production value. Changed up some of the scenes a little bit that we're using, and next time we do a concert stream, we will add one more person with us because next time Josh will be joining us.
Yes.
And we already have a nice set list of music that all of us enjoy. But this was really going to be more for Josh. We're picking a lot of songs that he likes, but I like them too. I won't spoil exactly what we're going to play, but just know it's a lot of stuff Josh will enjoy. So we're hoping to have a great time with that. That'll be, we're going to find out. We're going to practice all three of us this weekend, actually. So we will find out kind of where we are after that practice to determine whether we'll do this in August or in September.
Yeah. Hoping for August.
And whichever month we end up doing it in, the other month, I am going to start a solo stream. But it won't be very long at first. It'll probably be like, 30 minutes to an hour at first. Because I'm still building up the repertoire of songs that I'm going to use when I do the solo stream. But it'll just be me. And I will produce a few tracks to play along to. And I'll just play my guitar. But it'll be all video game related music, so it'll be more of this, but it'll just be me. And it'll be something that I'll do in the interim, in between the concerts that we have together.
Yeah, we're still do those. So we hope you enjoyed it. This was the best concert we could put on at the moment. So each one will get a little bit better. So like 5 concerts from now, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this was awesome still, but...
Oh, yeah.
We thank you for joining us. We're going to wrap it up. I don't think there's anyone to raid. I don't have anyone on the list, and my computer is kind of maxed out on stuff it can do, so I can't pull up Twitch and figure out who to raid. So we're just going to end it for tonight. So thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the music, enjoyed your mini concert. Great job. Thank you. Yeah. We should have called this like that mini desk concert or whatever. Got a bunch of mini desks around. Mm-hmm. So we will advertise when the next concert is. We will have 3 people doing it, as Spence said. So keep your eyes out for that. In the meantime, if you have any music you want to suggest, we are open to suggestions.
Absolutely. As long as it's video game related.
Yeah, we can't.
I'm not going to do Freebird.
We're not doing Stairway, and I mean, we can't do the sweeping orchestral Final Fantasy music. Like we can't. I can't do that because there's only 2/3 of us. But send suggestions. We'd like hearing at least what people's tastes are. So check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. We've got streams every Wednesday and Thursday at 8. More concert streams are coming. If you don't hear about it for a little bit, that's because we're hard at work at it. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next time on Riff Arcade. Woo.
Great.